Well, the question is, in the first inning, will Rusty Staub against the left-hand pitcher go to the bunt here?
The sports program is brought to you in living color.
The man making that catch is right fielder Reggie Jackson. It was off a ball hit by John Milner very hard in the bottom of the ninth inning. That's last night's scoreboard shot of that ninth inning. 2 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for Oakland. 2-8-1 for the New York Mets. And I really think that scoreboard shot from last night's game really sums up this World Series. We've had 2 extra inning ball games. The other one was decided by a 2-1 score. Now, I'm seated next to the fellow that you just saw make that catch, Reggie Jackson. And, Reggie, this has been a pressure World Series for you fellas in more ways than one. Is the turmoil going on in that clubhouse like we're led to believe? Does anybody like anybody over there?
Well, Joe, there's a lot of things that go on our ball club. I think it starts, the center of it starts around our owner. He's a man with a character of controversy, and not to mean any harm to anyone. But it carries right down through the ball club. And I think that we are winners has to do with the fact that we're constantly on the spotlight. Just like this morning, for example, in reference to the Andrews situation, I was called and we had a meeting with some players, Bando, myself, and Williams, and a few others. And Mr. Finley explained the situation to us. Well, if he would explain it to us a little earlier, then the human element of getting angry because of what happened probably wouldn't have entered. But it did enter, and we expressed our opinion, and we're going to express our opinion. And when something like that happens from the top of a ball club, there's nothing the players can do except express their opinion. And I think the reaction it has on us is to pull us a little closer together.
You're closer because you're fighting.
Contrary to what people think. It tends to, like last night, we wanted to win so we could say what we feel like saying.
Now you got the Andrews cases closed, okay? Dick Williams is rumored to go to the Yankees. That's tonight's turmoil story.
Right. I think it's blown a little bit out of proportion. There may be some truth to the matter. We never know. Last night, Dick Williams did say something to us. However, he said, I would like to have your confidence, so he's got mine because he's always been a good and fair man with me. So I can't elaborate any further.
When Charlie Finley says things like Reggie Jackson should just hit and I'll run the ball club, and if he were not the player representative, he'd be a better ball player, is that just from a spur-of-the-moment thing, or?
Well, I think that he says what he feels. You know, I could come back and say that, you know, if he ran his club like I played right field, then he'd be the executive of the year. But, you know, I don't want to get into controversy with the man. You know, he's done a good job for me as far as paying me my money. But when something comes up, Joe, I'm going to say how I feel. You know what I mean? And I feel like I have an obligation, humanly, to my ball players. If they want me to be the player rep, then I'm going to be it.
It's refreshing to get honest answers. I must ask you, is it true that you asked to be traded?
I sure did.
That's Reggie Jackson. He really lets it right out there, doesn't he? You know, last night, and Reggie can watch it with me, last night we showed you films that I wouldn't show to a Little League clinic. Well, tonight, I'm going to show you some plays that happened that I would like to show at a Little League clinic. In our discussion of pressure, and the man next to me, Reggie Jackson, knows all about that pressure, we talked about how some men handle it well. I've got some examples to show you. Reggie and I are just going to watch it. On a hit-and-run play, the book says you hit to the spot that's been vacated. Watch the shortstop, Campaneris, break right there. Now he was out of position. Perfect. On a pop foul, you try to find the wall. Tennis found it and go get it. And
That's what I call a winner right there, Joe.
He's a good hustler, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Joe Rudy stumbles. There it is. In Oakland on Sunday, that'd have been a 3-base hit.
Very underrated player, one of the best left fielders in the game.
Here's one, a fellow named Reggie Jackson. Now, the purists say you should hit the cutoff man, but a throw like that will discourage the next 3 runners, won't it? You really turned it loose.
Yeah, underrated player.
Here's how you play a carom perfectly. Did you practice much for this?
I threw the ball up against the wall, Joe, learning the park when we came out yesterday.
It paid off. Find the wall and make the play. That's always a tough play. The shortstops have been outstanding. We'll show you some plays by Harrelson and by Campaneris. Just flawless.
He's a great player. He's very underrated. He's worth every dime he gets. This guy's a great money player, Campaneris.
He just doesn't make many mistakes.
Not many. He plays well when the money's on the line. And there's another one, Tug McGraw.
How do you defense against a bunt with men at first and second? McGraw did it and got the man by plenty. Here's a carom off the wall that Cleon Jones played perfectly, but this is his ballpark. Here's the winning base hit. Now, the run scores, but here's the classic as far as hitting the cutoff man. They do throw to second, and they get their man. Tug McGraw, he's in a tough spot. It's the 9th inning. As Roy Campanella said, to play this game, you have to be a man, but you've got to have a lot of little boy in you. Tug McGraw, the man, gets the side out, and then the boy reacts. Watch this. Two championship teams plus instant replay make umpiring in the World Series a tough job. Umpires have to live with pressure. But what kind of guys are umpires? Well, tonight we visit with a couple of them. For over 20 years, Tom Gorman has been a National League umpire. Now, part of the time, he is very visible on the baseball field. But what about the other times? What is life like for an umpire?
It's a lonely life, no doubt about it. You travel all over the country. A lot of people think there's a lot of glamour to it in the way it is, but it's a hard life. You're away from your family a lot. You don't get home. You might get home for 3 days every 6 weeks or something. If you're lucky, sometimes you don't go home for 2 months. But you can't knock the job because you took umpiring up as your profession. All the umpires in the National and American League are devoted men. You got to be a devoted man to baseball to do this type of job, because some people ask you, why in the world would you take up umpiring? Because you must be out of your mind. Because you're never right. You're always wrong. Everybody's got something to say about it. The newspaper men take a shot at you. General managers take a shot at you. Ball players are always taking shots out of you. But that rolls off us like nothing to it. I mean, I love the game of baseball, and I think baseball has been a great life for me, and I would do it all over again if I could. So I like to see a lot of people in the ballpark, and some of them, of course, will start out at the first inning. And the only thing aggravates me about coming up, I see a boy 8 or 9 years old howling at me, boo, boo, there's the umpire, the blind man, where's your dog, and all this thing else. Now, why would a boy 8 or 9 years old holler? It's because he got a leather lung for a father. See what I mean? His father hollers, so the son will holler all the time. This is the only thing. I don't mind a man howling at me, a woman howling at me, but the remarks, like the other night someplace we come out of, and there was one guy howling, and he says, hey, Gorman, he says, I see you working first base. He says, follow the white line, it'll take you to the bag.
At first base in Chicago and in a park in Baltimore, we get to know umpire and birdwatcher Ron Luciano.
Foul! Foul! Oh, yeah! Okay. Oh, you get it! No! No! Yeah, you touched him! Hey, we got one! How come you can wear sunglasses? Why? Why?
The medication I'm taking is making my eyes.
And you yell at me about missing plays, and you're taking medication for your eyes. Now, if the bat hits the pitcher and the pitcher's feeling the ball, is that interference?
Yes, sir. Would you call that interference, would you?
Not me. I'm not going to call anything. I told you. I'm going to walk off.
What would that happen? What would you do?
Cry.
What is the reward of umpiring?
It's the same thing that you get out of staying with sports, or what anybody does. That's why what happens when the guy wakes up in the morning and he picks up his cup, he opens the door, takes the paper inside, drinks his cup of coffee, reads about sports. I'm part of sports. I'm out there. I'm on the field when, in the bottom of the 12th, Richie Allen hits a 1 out and wins it 1-0 or 3-1. That's what I get out of it, that feeling.
Do you actually, as you kind of get lost in these woods, do you hear a message from these birds?
Oh, now, come on. Now, no.
I don't
people,
mean
no,
that.
come, no, they're not saying, hey, Ron Luciana, hi, how you doing today? No, I'm not that goofy. I'm a little crazy. That's, you know, too many foul tips in the mask and stuff. I'm a little crazy. No, they're not. It's just that when I love contrast. When you hear 30,000 people yelling and screaming for 2.5 hours, and then you walk into the hotel and the lobby's crowded, and you go up to your hotel room, and I don't care where you are, it's noisy. You know you can't get a quiet hotel room. You hear noise, 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 noise. To come out in the woods and listen to nice, quiet, serene surroundings, and a pretty little gorgeous colored bird goes flying by. He doesn't tell me anything, but I think to myself, relax and take it easy, and maybe tomorrow will be better.
But if you're an umpire, you know that maybe tomorrow won't be better. It has its ups and downs, as Shag Crawford shows us. But no matter what, he has to be ready with a decision. And he makes it. The umpire's job looks tough, and it's tougher than it looks. You and I, well, we have an easier job, because right now we're going to sit back and we're going to watch Ken Holtzman of the Oakland A's against Jon Matlack for the New York Mets in Game 4 of the 1973 World Series. See you tomorrow.
Welcome to Game 4 of the 1973 World Series. The American League champs, the Oakland A's, versus the National League champs, the New York Mets. It's brought to you by Gillette, makers of foamy face saver with lubricating protection to help prevent shaving irritation. And by Chrysler Plymouth, featuring the beautiful new 1974 Chryslers and Plymouths. It's colder tonight at Shea Stadium than it was last night. The temperature, 53 degrees. The wind, about 10 to 15 miles an hour. And frost warnings are in the suburbs here in New York City. Hi, everybody. I'm Kurt Gowdy, along with Lindsey Nelson and Tony Kubek. Well, Mike Andrews is back in uniform. He's with the Oakland A's. Now the rumors are flying around that Dick Williams will resign as the A's manager when the World Series is over. It goes on and on and on. I think the best line I heard around Shea Stadium, the New York Mets hope that the A's settle down and get happy because the Mets will have a better chance to win the World Series. These A's just seem to thrive on turmoil within their ball club. We're back to left-handers. The starting pitchers tonight, Kenny Holtzman for the Oakland A's and Jon Matlack for the New York Mets. They were the two pitchers that opened the World Series last Saturday in Oakland. Lindsey Nelson, the broadcaster of the New York Mets. Now, Lindsey, what about the Mets? I saw you down in the dugout with them. Are they discouraged now? They lost their opening game here at home, and they're behind in the series 2-1.
Kurt, they're surprisingly loose for a team that's trailing in the World Series. I think their attitude is that of a team that says, well, we've been trying to do this all year long, just play catch-up. They were in last place on August 30th. They won the pennant. They went out and lost in the championship series, of course, first to Cincinnati, lost the opener in the World Series, lost the home opener of the World Series last night. But they figure they've done this before this year.
What about Yogi? Do you think he mulled any lineup changes today?
Yogi's decided he's just going to play the hand he has on the field right now. Because of injuries, he had to change that lineup so many times during the course of the year. When he finally got 8 able-bodied men, he just decided to play them every day, and they'll be out there again tonight.
Well, we sent Rubber Leg Tony Kubek down on the field to tape his pregame interview. And we have left-handers going tonight. You'll remember last night it was Tom Seaver and Jim Catfish Hunter, the two starting pitchers. And here's the conversation that Tony had with these two outstanding men.
Jim and Tom, I'm getting a little bit bored with the pregame publicity and the postgame publicity, centering around really an egotistical, publicity-seeking owner. And as my mind, I think the publicity should center around the playing of the game and the players. How do you feel about this, Jim?
Well, when you got an owner like we got, you know, it's kind of hard to get away from anything because he's got to be in the picture no matter where you're at, World Series, during the year, or anywhere. But I think, you know, baseball is for the players. It's not for the owner. The owner owns the club, but the players are the ones that play the game, and the fans come out to see the players, not the owner.
What about you, Tom? You have any feelings on that?
I think Jim's Catfish has correctly put it that the fans come out to see the ball players. They come out to see the game, and I don't know, the newspapers play the publicity, I think, to sell their papers, but I think the most important thing is right out here where the action is taking place, and I think that's where the real story is.
Well, one thing I find unfair in this particular World Series after the championship series and the season, the fact that the two of the top pitchers in baseball, you two, may only face each other one time during this entire series. You really should have been starting the first game, possibly the fourth, and then the seventh. How do you feel about that?
I think Tom and I both pitching the 5th game of the playoffs, and there's no way we could come back, and maybe both of us just put out a team in the playoffs by winning the 5th game. And, you know, it's kind of bad on the fans. They probably want to see us instead of the other pitchers, but we'll still be in there.
Tom?
Well, it's a funny thing, but that's the way that it ended up. Of course, both teams had to go to the 5th game of the playoffs, and the way that things are set up now, it's anything can happen. You know, if your best pitcher pitches the last day of the playoffs, there's really no conceivable way that a pitcher physically could pitch 3 times in a World Series. You go down to a Wednesday, that means you'd have to pitch Sunday, Wednesday, and Sunday again. I think it's physically impossible.
All right, Tom Seaver, Jim Catfish Hunter, my thanks. Good luck if you do face each other
Thanks,
in another
Tony.
game in this series. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, Kubek has arrived. He has a 19-game winner now, carrying his microphone around for him. We're just about ready here before another sellout crowd at Shea Stadium to meet the starting lineups, members of each squad of the A's and the Mets, and also we'll have the ceremonial first pitch. So let's go downfield now here in New York.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Shea Stadium for the 4th game of the 1973 World Series. Here are the official lineups. First, the defending world champion, Oakland A's. Here is the manager of the A's, number 23, Dick Williams. Batting first and playing shortstop, number 19, Bert Campaneris. Batting second and playing left field, number 26, Joe Rudy. Batting third and playing third base, number 6, the captain of the A's, Sal Bendo. Batting fourth, playing center field, number 9, Reggie Jackson. Batting fifth, playing first base, number 18, Gene Tennis. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 22, Jesus Alou. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 10, Ray Fosse. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 1, Dick Green. Batting ninth and pitching, number 30, Ken Holtzman, who is warming up in the bullpen. And here are the remaining players and coaches of the Oakland A's. Now for the National League champion, New York Mets. Here's the manager of the Mets, Yogi Berra. Batting first and playing third base, number 11, Wayne Garrett. Batting second, playing second base, number 16, Felix Millan. Batting third, playing right field, number 4, Rusty Staub. Batting fourth, playing left field, number 21, Cleon Jones. Batting fifth, playing first base, number 28, John Milner. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 15, Jerry Grody. Batting seventh, playing center field, number 25, Don Hahn. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, number 3, Bud Harrelson. Batting ninth and pitching, number 32, Jon Matlack, who is warming up in the bullpen. And here are the remaining players and coaches of the New York Mets. Ladies and gentlemen, with us this evening is the Joint Armed Forces Police Color Guard from New York City, the Naval Reserve Color Guard from Freeport, New York, and the United States Navy Band. The national anthem this evening will be sung by Nelson Briles of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And now, to honor America, let us all join in singing our national anthem.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Yes, and he can pitch, too. We'll be back with the fourth game of the 1973 World Series and the ceremonial first pitch right after this message.
The commissioner's box adjacent to the Mets dugout. We are honored this evening to have with us the man for whom Shea Stadium is named, Bill Shea, to throw out the first ball.
Bill Shea, a lawyer appointed by Mayor Wagner to try and bring Major League Baseball back to New York. He succeeded. What's that story you were telling me, Lindsay, about driving downtown one day?
Bill Shea said shortly after this stadium was opened, he was on the bus passing by out here outside, and two fellas in the seat in front of him were discussing the stadium, and one says, "Who is it named for?" The other says, "Bill Shea." He said, "Who was he?" The other said, "I think an old soldier killed in the First War."
He's still here and honored tonight. Here are the umpires. Paul Pryor of the National League's behind the plate. Russ Getz of the American League's at first. Harry Wendelstedt of the National League at second. Marty Springstead of the American League at third. Augie Donatelli working the left field line, representing the National League. And Jerry Neudecker of the American League is down the right field line. Dick Williams and Yogi Berra are the two managers for the meeting at home plate. And we just received further word that the temperature may drop in the low 40s here as this game progresses. There's Jon Matlack, the young left-hander, 23 years old, who in his last 4 starts, 2 regular season games, 1 playoff game, 1 World Series game, has allowed 1 earned run in 32 innings.
Going over some ground rules is what they're doing, and I don't think, Lindsay, there are any unusual ones here, although I know in the left and right field corners, a spot that Sal Bando's ball hit yesterday, there was a little bit of discussion. It was a double. There's a little orange line there above the concrete wall. Above that, what, is a home run?
Right there, yes. You'd see it right underneath the 3-4-1. That is the home run mark. Above it's a home run. Underneath is in play.
That canvas there for protection of the players in the event that they would bump into it and prevent injuries. course, they already had a severe injury to this Mets club, which has so far, I think, affected some of the outcome of the ball games in this series, and that of Rusty Staub running into a fence and injuring that shoulder.
Had a long talk with Rusty before the ball game, and he said that all day he took hot showers, he had diathermy treatment, medication, and that, of course, he talked it over with Yogi Berra, and they just figured if they had somebody that they thought was able-bodied and could put out there that could do it better, they would. But, of course, Willie Mays can't throw either, so they figured Staub can do it as well as anyone.
Bert Campaneris is already swinging a bat. He's getting ready. I think right now he and Bud Harrelson have perhaps been the outstanding players in this series when you combine both in the field and at bat. Jon Matlack moving to the mound. He won 14, lost 16. Last year he won 15 and lost 10. And he was voted the Rookie of the Year in the National League in 1972. Lindsey Nelson has seen him perform now for 2 years, and he'll tell you more about him.
Jon Matlack early this year was struck on the forward by a line drive off the bat of Marty Perez of the Atlanta Braves. He was felled on the mound, was carried off, never lost consciousness, but had a fractured skull. Now, we all know what that might do to a young man psychologically as far as coming back to the firing line and being a competitive pitcher, because you are up there exposed. He came right back, and as far as I could tell, never showed any sign of flinching whatsoever, Tony.
And, of course, the story that you think about is that of Herb Score off the bat of Gil McDougall. Herbie never was quite the same, especially balls hit directly back at him. We had a chance to talk about Jon Matlack to his catcher, Jerry Grody, before the ball game. He is going to fill us in a capsule summary on the pitching of his left-hander, Jon Matlack.
Jon Matlack is a fastball, curveball pitcher. He's got real good control with it, and as of the last month of this season, has had an exceptional breaking ball. I'll be looking to be going with his fastball and with his curveball tonight.
And now we're ready to go as you look at Jon Matlack's statistics for the season, lifetime, the World Series, and to bring him in here with a play-by-play, not only the voice of the New York Mets, but the fashion plate of the New York Mets, Mr. Lindsey Nelson.
Thank you very much, Kurt Gowdy, and hello again, everybody. Bert Campaneris is going to lead it off, the hero of the Oakland victory of last night. He's had 5 hits in this series. Campaneris drove in the winning run as Oakland won by a score of 3-2 last night. He's up to lead it off. Matlack into the motion, the first pitch of the night, and it's fouled off for strike 1. Matlack is 23 years of age, born in Westchester, Pennsylvania, lives now in Katona, New York. Bert Campaneris, during the course of the season, hit .250, in the playoffs hit .333. Bunts it strongly to first base. Milner has it, goes unassisted for the tag, and there's one away.
He tagged him that time out at Oakland. Milner dived and missed him when Campaneris slid under the tag.
Let's watch it again. John Milner has seen this act before. In the ball game earlier when Campy slid underneath the tag about 10 feet from the bag. Getting a chance to look at the speed of Campaneris, and he almost eludes him again. Not quite.
That brings up Joe Rudy, who has also had 5 hits in this World Series. He has driven in 3 runs and has hit the ball consistently hard.
He was telling me before the game, Lindsey, he's swinging the bat now better than any time this season.
Must be. In the air to right, Rusty Staub is coming on, and he makes the catch. He sort of underhands the ball back in. This telecast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Commissioner of Baseball is prohibited. Sal Bando, he's had 4 hits, 4 for 12 and 1 run batted in this World Series. 1-0. Matlack's control was not outstanding this year. He averaged 3.7 walks per 9 inning compared to 2.6 last year. This will be a 3-1 pitch with nobody on base and 2 men out. It's full at 3-2.
Look at it again. You hear the expression live arm. That's what Jon Matlack has. His ball really darts around in the strike zone. Rube Walker, his pitching coach before the game, said of 34 starts this year, he recalls 2 times when he did not have his good stuff.
That's down the line and right. Milner can't get it. It's a foul ball, simply out of play. Milner trying to get to it and could not. He got closest of the three.
Watch the play again. It would have been an easier chance for Mian, but he couldn't get to it. Staub was playing over in right center field. Milner gave it a good chase. Looks like he runs fairly well, Lindsay.
He does indeed. That's a walk. Just missed. And the Oakland A's have their first base run of the night as Bando goes to first. Reggie Jackson is coming up now to face Matlack. Jackson is 4 for 14 in the World Series. He's batted in 2 runs. I asked Matlack one time who his heroes were as he was growing up in Westchester, what ball players he followed. He said, I only followed one because I was a participant. I didn't follow spectator sports. Sandy Koufax was the only fellow I ever followed. Fastball is in there for a call strike. He can zip it.
Lindsay, I think he's much quicker than he was Saturday out at Oakland.
Two men out, runner at first. Misses low and away. It's 1-1.
Speaking of Koufax, that number 32 in the back.
Yes.
Same number Sandy wore.
Might not be an accident. Foul it back. 1-2.
Matlack has an unusually high leg kick. He has a slow delivery to home plate, and should some of these A's fleet-footed runners get on base, we could see some running.
Struck him out. First strikeout for Jon Matlack, and so there was a walk, and there was one left. And in the middle of the first, the score is Oakland nothing, and the Mets coming to bat.
Pitcher Tom Seaver is wearing a travel knit suit from the men's store at Sears. All our travel knit suits are on sale now. The selection is terrific. So is the choice of styles, and so is the sale price. Regularly $85, now just $64.97. Save $20 at the special sale price, $64.97. Only in the men's store at Sears.
In the front row where those Oakland batters are the wives of the A's players. Last night they were seated way upstairs. Gene Tennis and some of the A's players were very unhappy where the A's had seated their wives. I guess they protested. The wives are right down in the front row tonight alongside the A's dugout.
Kenny Holtzman on the mound now. He started the first game of the World Series.
We'll get a capsule report from his catcher, Ray Fosse, on the pitching of Kenny Holtzman. What we might expect from Kenny in tonight's ball game against the New York Mets.
Fastball pitcher. He's got a very good curveball. He also changes speeds very well. He's not going to do anything different against the Mets tonight as he did in the first game. Hopefully he can stay off the bases and he'll keep his strength that way. But basically he's a fastball pitcher, control pitcher.
And up to face Kenny Holtzman. On the mound for the Oakland A's is Wayne Garrett, who opened up last night with a home run for the Mets. Fastball comes inside. Garrett has had 3 hits, 2 home runs in this World Series, and those are his 2 runs batted in. There is a base hit into right field. Jesus Salou returns it, and Garrett has a leadoff single. Felix Millan is coming up. He's 3 for 15 in the World Series. In game number 1, Kenny Holtzman started, pitched 5 innings, allowed 1 run, 4 hits, walked 3, struck out 2. Was the winning pitcher. Bunted up the third baseline. Bando will play it. He overruns it. Wayne Garrett got a very late start at first base.
When the ball was bunted, Holtzman had bluffed Garrett right back to the bag, and he was standing on first base. What's Sal Bando on the bunt? It appeared he did not square away. He may have been trying to beat it out for a hit. Maybe the bunt was not on. Bando taking his eye off the ball and slipping on the soft turf. Watch Garrett. Holtzman has gone into his motion. He is now making his pitch. Garrett is standing on the bag. Tennis not charging at all. Bando would have had an excellent shot at Garrett at second base had he not missed the ball.
And Mian really disguised that bunt. He dropped that bat at the last split second. Can't do it much better than that.
It is scored as a base hit. The Mets have runners first and second. Rusty Staub is at the plate. He squares to sacrifice. Takes it low out of the strike zone. It's ball one. Rusty Staub has had 3 hits and 11 times hit back. And this is first World Series.
Let's be alert for the trick plays that the A's practiced all spring.
He's around, takes it inside. 2-0. That is Eddie Yost, the sign man at third, sending down the information to Rusty Staub. Staub is followed in the Met batting order by Cleon Jones, who is a right-hand batter. The outfield defense is just about straight away. Left fielder Joe Rudy pulled a little over toward the line against the left-hand batter, figuring he'll go to the opposite field. He was taking, and it's in there for a called strike, 2-1. Move back on the pitch. Staub looks again.
Rusty, yesterday's ball game, took a lot of pitches. There's Bando. Rusty apparently does not want to swing unless he has to with that bad shoulder.
Hits it in the air, way back in left. That's sending Rudy back to the wall, and it is gone. A home run for Rusty Staub. Rusty Staub, who had 15 home runs during the regular season, and he had 3 home runs during the playoffs, has just hit his first World Series homer, a 3-runner.
Every ball he hit last night, except one, went to left field. He had a single and a double to left field, and he hit the home run to the opposite field. But the Mets are starting off like they did last night, Lindsay.
That's true. Here's the pitch low, and it bounced away from Jones. Kenny Holtzman, whom the Mets saw a great deal of during his National League career. That is Odom, throwing in the bullpen now for Oakland. Backhanded at second by Green, and played over to Tennis at first, and there's one away. Leon Jones is grounded out second to first. There's one man out, and John Milner's coming up. Milner is 5 for 13. Fastball in tight. Jerry Grody's on deck. One man out, nobody on. Turned him inside. 2-1. Low for a ball. He attended the University of Illinois, got his B.S. degree in business in 1967, 2 years after starting his pro baseball career. Walking. Here comes Dick Williams, the manager of the Oakland A's. He's got Odom in the bullpen. Well, last night, the New York Mets got 2 runs in the first inning, and then after that, Catfish Hunter settled down and was pretty well in command.
Holtzman looked tonight, so far, the way he was in the National League, trying to throw the ball right by hitters. We saw him in the championship series against Baltimore, and he was a control pitcher. He had his fastball sinking, moving away from right-handed hitters, would not let them pull the ball at all, and was down and outside low most of the ball game.
That's Odom in the bullpen. Williams back to the dugout, and Jerry Grody is coming up now. Grody's had 2 hits, 15 times hit back. Yogi Berra. There's a base hit into left center field. Milner is on his way to third. Reggie Jackson relays the ball to second. Grody holds at first. Runners at first and third. One man out. And here comes Williams again, and that will be all. And he crosses the third base line. His pitcher's out of the ball game, and it's going to be Odom coming in here. So Holtzman will be credited with 1/3 of an inning. Charged so far with 3 runs on 4 hits, struck out none, walk 1, responsible for 2 runners that are on base at this time. Holtzman heading for the dugout. There's a break in the action here in New York. The score is the Mets 3 and Oakland nothing.
A happy New York Met Mayor Lindsay right now. 28-year-old John Odom on the mound. He's pitched 2 innings in this series. That was in the second game. You can study him here in slow motion. He's had an off year, 5 wins, 12 losses. Last year he won 15. He started to pitch better the last 2 months of the season. No arm trouble. He said, I don't know, I just got out of the groove. I hope they keep me. I'll be back strong next year. John Odom, Lindsay.
Don Hahn coming up now. He's had 2 hits in 14 times at bat. Ground ball to third, and there goes the attempt at the double play. Dick Green fires it on, so it goes Bando Green to tennis, and the side is retired. Odom does it quickly. Mets got 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. The end of an inning. The score is the Mets 3 and Oakland nothing.
Game 5 of the World Series. Tomorrow night our coverage will begin at 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. And the game will be preceded by the baseball world of Joe Garagiola. Tomorrow night, right here on NBC. Jon Matlack staked to a 3-run lead. Ready to go to work now on Gene Tennis.
Gene Tennis has had 2 hits and 9 times at bat in this World Series. What a series he had last year as the A's won the World Championship. He bats number 5 in the order. That's high for a ball. It's 1-0.
Matlack, the type of pitcher that is looked at by opposing hitters as sneaky fast. He rocks you to sleep. He gives that high right leg kick, leans back, free and easy, and all of a sudden the arm is and the ball are upon you.
2-1 delivery. Ground ball toward the hole, but Garrett has it. Up and throwing in time. He's out.
Let's look again at Wayne Garrett. And this is how the Mets got here. They played superb defense in September during the championship series, are doing so during this World Series. A fine play. He has great range to his left.
So there's 1 away, and Jesus Salou is coming up. He is 3 for 10 in this World Series. Salou is a fella given to a lot of motion up there at the plate. He's moving constantly.
That's one of the great takes I've ever seen. I thought he was going to lose his left leg along with his bat.
Here's the old bat trick, left leg kick. Oops.
It's the kick that does it.
3 points.
That one is popped up. Milner comes down the line and calls in foul territory. Milner has it. 2 away, and catcher Ray Fosse comes up now. He's 0 for 10 in the World Series. Horacio Pena is up and throwing in the bullpen. Fosse, the number 7 man in the order. That's in for a call strike. The Mets are leading 3-0. That's Pena. That's our handheld camera. Swing and a foul ball going into the stands and out of play. In there for a call, strike 3. Second strikeout. Sides out in order, nothing across, and in the middle of the second, the score is the Mets 3 and Oakland nothing. Seated squarely in the center of your picture, Mrs. Joan Payson, the president and principal owner of the New York Mets. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Lindsey Nelson with Kurt Gowdy and Tony Kubek here at Shea Stadium in New York, and Bud Harrelson's up for the Mets. Odom's pitch is high and away. Bud Harrelson, 5 for 13 in this World Series. He is of the opinion that the most important thing that happened on D-Day was not the invasion of Normandy. He was born that day, June 6, 1944. That's in for a called strike. 1-1. I tried to have a conversation with Bud one time on the subject of the Normandy invasion and was not too surprised to find out he knows absolutely nothing about it. Ground ball is short. Campaneris has it. Goes to tennis. Harrelson is grounded out.
These two shortstops are playing like mechanical men. They're in front of everything, never make a bad throw. Been superb.
The hand is from Matlack as he comes to the plate. His lifetime batting average in the National League is 143, 22 hits, 1 extra base hit, a double at Philadelphia in 1972. In for a strike. Game number 4 of the World Series. Low and away, 1-1. Low, 2-1. Rides high.
Let's watch the follow-through in slow motion of John Odom. Something not to be recommended to a youngster. He fouls off to the left side, but he's quick. He recovers and gets in good fielding position.
Walked him. Odom has walked his opposite number, pitcher Jon Matlack.
Managers love that. When a pitcher walks the other pitcher. They really go for that.
That brings up Wayne Garrett, who's been up one time and had a base hit. Matlack buttoning up the jacket, which would feel pretty comfortable down there. Game time temperature in the low 50s here at Shea Stadium.
He was cold in the playoffs. He's starting to get hot in the World Series. On base 4 times last night and a single tonight.
And this one comes all the way back. Matlack moves to second.
Fosse never did, as we look at Dick Williams, get down on his knees to try and block that pitch. He thought he could scoop it with his glove, and it scooted between his legs.
Wes Stock on the telephone to the bullpen. Probably warned Pena to get up and start throwing.
That's Pena. Right off the end of the bat, a scribbler to Bando. He's out at first base, and Matlack moves to third.
Quite a grab there by Gene Tennis.
Watch Bando again. It's the kind of play that you have a little bit more time than you think. Not hit hard, but a hitter does not get a good jump out of the batter's box. Swings hard, hits it on the end of the bat. Doesn't start quickly.
2 men are out. Matlack is at third, and Felix Millan is coming up. He concealed a bunt and legged it out for a base hit in the first inning. Bando with a big hop. Side is up. So there was a walk, and there's 1 left, and at the end of 2, the score is the Mets 3 and the Oakland A's nothing. At Shea Stadium in New York, the Oakland A's come up now. Top of the 3rd inning, and it's the number 8 man in their order, Dick Green.
Charlie Finley with a green hat, a green coat. He's surviving it all. And strike 1. Of course, he came back, Lindsay, from a heart attack. And I believe that he has a cardiologist with him here at each game in Oakland and in New York.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. Struck him out. Strikeout number 3 for Jon Matlack. Odom is peeling off the jacket and will bat for himself. The Mets are leading 3-0. The A's are batting in the top of the third. That pitch is high for a ball. Because of the designated hitter rule, Odom did not bat in 1973. Great speed. And not a bad hitter. Swung himself out from under the hard hat.
He's used oftentimes by Dick Williams as a pinch runner. He's a good athlete. Swings a good bat, as are so many of these Oakland A's pitchers. Hunter, Blue. He appears to have a good fastball tonight. The ball is by Odom. Looks like he can spot it in the strike zone, too, when he gets ahead of the hitter.
He's had that for about a month now. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Got him looking at the breaking pitch. 4 strikeout for Jon Matlack. Bert Campaneris at the plate. Been up one time and grounded out to first base unassisted. Swinging strike. It's 0-1. Breaks in for a called strike 2. It's 0-2.
Pitch prior to this last one taken by Campaneris. We'll replay. Watch Harrelson. Even though the ball is swung at and missed, see how he was leaning, moving a little bit to his right on the breaking ball to get a jump?
Ground ball to third. Garrett with the big hop. On across to Milner, and the side is out. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. And in the middle of the third, the score is the Mets 3, Oakland nothing. Rusty Staub is at the plate. He had a 3-run homer in the first inning. Breaking pitch is high. Hearted inside. Fastball is in for a called strike. It's 2-1. That's low. 3-1. There's a fellow who's going to get his baseball every way you can get it. That's low and a walk to Rusty Staub. That is the second walk issued by Odom. It's a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the third, and Cleon Jones is coming up.
You know, Lindsay, that swing of the bat, the home run by Staub, could change the entire complexion of this World Series. If he can swing the bat a little bit better as he displayed the first time up, what a threat he becomes for this offense.
And it's the kind of a Met offense that needs every bat they can get. They don't score that many runs. That's into right center field. Rusty's on his way to third, and here is Jackson's throw. Staub arrives safely at third. Cleon Jones with a single to right center. And the bullpen is heating up again. Horacio Pena is up and throwing again for the Oakland A's as John Milner comes to the plate. There's Pena throwing. Runners lead at first and third. This is a strike one delivery. Ground ball, and it is Odom. He's got to play at the plate, and hung up is Rusty Staub. Staub is tagged out by Bando, and now Jones holds at second, and Milner retreats to first.
Bando ended that run down as soon as he could, so Jones couldn't get around to third.
1-2-5 on Staub. Fielder's choice as far as Milner's concerned. Runners first and second, one away, and Jerry Grody's coming up. Ground ball at second base. It's taken by Green. He goes to Campaneris. The throw back to first. A double play, and they're out of trouble. So it's one hit, and there was one left. And at the end of three, the score is the Mets 3 and the Oakland A's nothing.
And now a program note from NBC. The career of Henry Aaron, one of baseball's greatest stars, the subject of a one-hour NBC News special program. It's called The Long Winter of Henry Aaron. Sunday at 10, 9 Central Time, right here on NBC. It's going to be a long winter and a rich winter. You gotta believe. That's the slogan. Tug McGraw started that on the Mets, and they're still believing. So does this Met fan. Go get him, Mets.
Joe Rudy's up to lead off now in the top of the fourth inning. I thought I knew all the Met fans. Guess not.
Jon Matlack with the pitch. Check swing, foul ball to the right side. Fouled it off. Strikeout number 5 for Jon Matlack. That brings up Sal Bando, who's been up one time and drew a walk. Garrett drops the ball, and Bando is on at first.
Garrett has made one fine play going farther to his left than this. Watch it on this one and see if he takes his eye off the ball. It was hit hard, but it was a big hop, and it looked like it went right off the heel of his glove.
He is charged with an error. One man out, and Reggie Jackson is up. There's a base hit, the first for the Oakland A's into center field. Hahn is up with it. Bando's on his way to third to throw, and he is safe. Moving up to second, on the throw to third is Reggie Jackson.
And after the error by Garrett, now Hahn makes a fundamental error by overthrowing the cutoff man, Buddy Harrelson. Look at Buddy Harrelson. He was still standing with his arms on his sides, looking out to Hahn, saying, "What are you doing?"
So very quickly now, that's Yogi Berra in the mid dugout. The Oakland A's have runners in scoring position, 2 of them, 1 man out, and Gene Tennis is up. Mets are leading 3-0. Pickoff attempt at second, and he is safe at second base. Grody rifled the ball down to Millan, but Reggie Jackson got back.
This is the first time that any of these catchers so far in the series have tried to throw behind a runner, a time play. They thought Jackson was getting off too far. He had a good lead. They thought he'd catch him leaning the opposite way, but he could not get the ball there in time.
Ground ball, deep in the hole. Harrelson goes to first in time. A run scores as Bando comes across, and Jackson goes to third. It's the Mets 3 and the Oakland A's 1. 2 men out, runners holding at first and third. Jesus Salou is coming up. Run batted in for Tennis.
That'll be an unearned run.
Right fielder, Jesus Salou, number 22.
Alou has been up one time, and he fouled out to first base.
We're in the top of the 4th inning, 2 out. The A's have Reggie Jackson at third. The score is 3-1. The Mets are leading. It'll be a mighty big run for Oakland to pick up right here. Line drive, left field, falling fast. Here comes Jones. He's got it. Leon Jones came running in to get a ball that was hit off the fist. In the 4th, Oakland gets 1 run on a hit, an error, and a man left, and the score is 3-1 the Mets. Center fielder Don Hahn bats now against John Odom. Last half of the 4th inning just underway, and Hahn slams the first pitch into right field, a base hit. Jesus Salou picks it up in right field and throws back behind Hahn. And he put it right on the bag, and Hahn had to hit the dirt and grab the bag to get in there safely. So Hahn gives the Mets the leadoff man in the 4th inning, and now here's Bud Harrelson, the shortstop. Here's a pitch. Line drive, left field, base hit by Harrelson. Like a magician, he threaded that ball right through the Oakland infield between Campaneris and Bando. Here comes Tennis charging the plate from first. Campaneris goes over, and Dick Green goes back to second, but John Odom doesn't throw the ball anywhere, and Dick Williams is going to the mound. The A's had a pickoff play on at second base, and they're going to bring in the left-hander right here. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Don Hahn at second base, Bud Harrelson at first. Campaneris has gone to third again. The ball is taken, a call, strike 3. Darrell Knowles threw a fastball right through the middle, and Matlack couldn't pull the trigger. And now here's Wayne Garrett. Knowles working with 2 on and 1 out. The pitch hits the batter right in the hip. Darrell Knowles has really pitched his way into a pickle barrel now. The ball got away from him. It hit the left-handed batter right in the hip. Bases are loaded with 1 out, and Felix Millan is up. Bouncing ball to Dick Green. He's got it. Drops the ball. Picks it up. Throws. No way. He can't get rid of it. A run scores. The Mets lead 4-1. That should have been a double play, inning-ending play. Dick Green was playing in. He ordinarily is one of the most sure-handed infielders in the American League. He backhanded the ball, started to throw to the plate, and never did get the ball cleanly. And now with the score 4-1, the bases loaded. Here is Rusty Staub. Nose landing. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball right field. Base hit. Here comes one run in. Harrelson scores. Right behind him, Garrett scores, and the Mets have blown it open. They lead 6-1.
To be able to have the kind of fourth game I had, where I had the 4 hits and a home run, it just made me feel real good that I did the right thing to get in the lineup, and to be a part of what a World Series is, and to be part of a champion team, it's just been the greatest thrill of my entire life. It really has.
For those of you who may not be aware, wherever you are listening in the world, it was Mike Andrews who signed that medical report that indeed he had chronic arm trouble, was sent home. The A's tried to get someone else to take his place. Commissioner Boykuhn said, no, sir, and you've got to reinstate Mike Andrews. He missed last night's game. He's here tonight, the cause of much publicity across the country, the object of nearly every newspaper man here in New York, and he's going to bat. Hard bounder, cut off by Garrett at third base, and he throws out Andrews. And Andrews gets a standing ovation as he goes back to the dugout. 54,800 plus stand here at Shea Stadium to give Mike Andrews a standing ovation. And in the on-deck circle, as he goes by, Joe Rudy stops, puts his bat down, and applauds as he goes by.
Game 4 signals the return of the champion of underdog causes. Deactivated after his successive errors in Game 2, Mike Andrews is now reinstated. His appearance in a pitch-hitting role gives the Shea Stadium crowd an opportunity to voice its opinion. Charlie and Mrs. Finley take it all in with a smile. Andrews grounds out, but the fans continue to give him their support. Naturally, the New York fans have their own interests at heart, too. And Jon Matlack's performance helps maintain their generosity in the standing ovation category. Felix Meon's well-executed bunt single introduced the real hero of Game 4. Sore shoulder and all, it's Rusty Staub.
The 2-1 pitch, Staub swings away, hits it in the air to deep left field. Way back goes Joe Rudy. He can't get it. It's over the fence. A 3-run homer for Rusty Staub.